How was it to be bowling right at the end with Dotton on strike?
Yeah, it was quite nerve-wracking. Obviously, she's one of the cleaner hitters in our game. So I think what worked for me today was just sticking to the basics and knowing at the top of my mark what exactly I wanted to bowl.
140, were you happy with that? Bring it up in the innings break?
Yeah, look, it was probably a little bit under par. I think we were going for 150, 160, but in saying that, in big games, you kind of have to have that belief that you can defend little totals. And I think our bowling has had quite a tough lead up into this game, so I thought that held us in really good stead.
You've had a lot more success in this tournament than the men's side, both this time and the past few tournaments. Is there any sort of back and forth with the men's side?
Not at all. I think the men have had a wonderful summer. Obviously, our home series against England and South Africa, so it's been quite a long one for them, and obviously that has its own challenges. Obviously, they would have been disappointed with the result, but in saying that, I think they go home and have a bit of a break and will recuperate and come back a stronger team.
Erin, we've seen in the men's competition that the teams change for T20s, ODIs as well as for tests. Does it happen in the women's game as well?
Not as much. We might see a couple of players in and out every now and then, but I think because we play 3 formats in such a short period of time, it makes it quite difficult to have players in and out all the time. So I think that's actually quite a strength of ours, that we have players that are quite adaptable to all formats.
The influence of Lisa Sthalekar on your game and also on the bowling group as a whole?
Yeah, I'm very grateful to have her here. Not only the bowlers, but as well as the batters. A lot of our batters have been going with one-on-one net sessions and working on spin with her. But for me, it's been wonderful. I've been having my own battles leading up to this match, and to have her and just go through everything. It's definitely helped me out today, and I finally felt that I was able to contribute to this team the way I should be doing.
Erin, you came from Sylhet, so could you tell us the difference between the two wickets and the dimensions of the ground? Did it need a lot of adjustment for your team?
I think Sylhet was a little bit quicker pitch. The ground was just as fast, a little bit bumpy, and we had some challenges with all the moths there as well, which made it quite interesting, dealing with those every night. But and the pitch out here is a little bit slower and a little bit more spin friendly, so that in itself was a bit of a challenge, but I thought our batters did well to adapt to the conditions. And obviously the dimensions of this ground square are quite big, whereas I think, if Dotton hit that ball in Sylhet, that would have sailed over my head. So fortunate for us that it's a bigger boundary.
A couple of days back here, the Australian and West Indian men's team had a pretty heated game. So did that have any influence on this game? Did you talk about the incidents that happened in the game?
Not at all. Look, we obviously watched that game and we're quite intrigued by it. And we had a catch up with the Australian men team at the hotel a few nights ago, which was really good. I guess brought us all together, and we had this belief that we could go on and have a successful tournament. So yeah, that had no bearings on today's game.
Was there any extra pressure? Did you feel any extra pressure on you and Jess, the 2 spinners, as the quicks seem to be travelling a little bit today?
No, I didn't feel the extra pressure. As I said, I think throughout the tournament, the quicks and Jess have actually been carrying me, so it was probably my turn to actually step up and do the job. So, and look, that's T20 cricket. You have some players go the distance and others do really well. So I think as a whole, we're quite happy with how we bowled today.
When you set up 140, did you think it was a dependable score on this sort of batting trend?
Yeah, absolutely. We know West Indies have a few players that can take the game away from you, and we saw that with Dotton, and I thought Stacey batted exceptionally well today, and that kind of threw us out a little bit. So I think in big games we've had the experience, and we know that small targets are probably the hardest ones to achieve for the batting side. So we had belief in going out there. We just knew that we had to be disciplined in our bowling.
When you took the catch up Dotton, you sort of won the match at that time. What emotions were going through your head?
Oh, I wouldn't say we won the match at that time. As I say, West Indies are very talented. They have a lot of entertaining individual players. It definitely helped us, but Stacey King was still out there and batting tremendously well. So, credit to West Indies. They played exceptionally well today. I guess it was just one of those games that we got over the line.
And we have seen packed house, packed stadium for all the men's game here. So does it feel a little disappointing to see to play such a big game in front of empty stadium, empty stands?
Look, we've had wonderful support since we've been here. Select we had full stadium. You leave your hotel and there's a group always there to send you off and wish you well. And we've had experienced the exact same thing here. The people have been friendly and very supportive. Although we would have liked to have seen more people watching the game, I have nothing but good things to say about this competition, and the people of Bangladesh have been very supportive.
Just to take up on my colleague's former question about the rivalry between West Indies and Australia. We've seen the Australian men's team very vocal. Does it happen with the women's team as well? And is there sledging happening in the women's game as well?
Probably not as much. I think we're pretty friendly. I think, I'm not one to sledge because I'm a spin bowler. Why would I? I think last time we played West Indies, actually Aguilera was batting, and my housemate, actually Ray Chains, was fielding at point and had a little bit to say to her, and very next ball I got hit for 6, so I thanked my housemate for that. So that was last year's World Cup, so I'm not one to say anything. A couple of people will, but yeah, I'm definitely not one to.
Erin, could you just say a little bit about how important Alyssa Healy's innings was at the end in getting you up to that total, which proved defendable?
Yeah, that innings was crucial. Obviously, we were struggling. We were going only out a run a ball, and at that stage it looked like we were only going to maybe post 130 if we were lucky. But she came in and played the way we know she can. She's done it so often for us at home at New South Wales Lend-Lease Breakers, and she's done it for Australia at the top of the order. So I think it was actually useful having her bat a little bit lower for us today and come in and play that explosive innings. It's exactly what we needed, but we all knew that she had it in her and could achieve that, and I'm so pleased for her.
Great, thanks guys.
Thank you.